Chosen ones, if you're reading this right now, stop everything. What I'm about to tell you is not speculation. It's not theory. It's not theory. It's not another spiritual message designed to keep you engaged. This is an urgent transmission from the Archangelic realm about something that's happening tonight. Something so rare, so powerful, so precisely timed that it will never occur again in exactly this way during your lifetime. The Archangels have just announced it. And if you're seeing this message, it's because your soul was meant to know before it happens. Tonight is not like other nights. Tonight carries a frequency that only arrives once per generation, sometimes once per century. It's a cosmic convergence point, where multiple spiritual dimensions align, in such a way that the barrier between the physical world and the higher realms becomes almost non-existent. Think of it like a door that's usually locked, guarded, and impossible to access. Tonight, that door swings open. Not for everyone, not randomly, but for the souls who have been preparing for this moment, without even knowing they were preparing. The Archangels don't make announcements lightly. They operate on a level of consciousness so far beyond human comprehension that when they choose to communicate something directly, it means the event is significant enough to alter the trajectory of souls across the planet. And what they're communicating right now is this. Tonight, a once-in-a-lifetime activation portal opens. And it opens specifically for you. I know you've been feeling something building. Maybe for days, maybe for weeks, maybe for months. That restless energy that won't let you settle. That sense of anticipation you can't explain. That feeling like you're standing on the edge of something massive, but you can't see what it is yet. That wasn't your imagination. That wasn't anxiety. That was your soul sensing the approach of tonight's event. Long before your conscious mind could articulate it, your spirit has been preparing you quietly, suddenly, constantly. And now finally, what you've been sensing is about to reveal itself. Let me be very clear about what's happening tonight. This is not a meditation exercise. This is not a visualization practice. This is not something you create through intention or willpower. This is something that's being done to you, for you, through you, by forces far greater than your individual consciousness. The Archangels, working in coordination with higher dimensional beings, are initiating a mass upgrade of human consciousness. But this upgrade isn't being broadcast to everyone equally. It's being delivered to specific souls. Souls who have reached a certain level of spiritual development. Souls who have done the inner work. Souls who have survived the refining fire and emerged stronger. Souls like yours. What makes tonight different from every other spiritual event you've experienced is the permanence of what's about to occur. Most spiritual activations are temporary. You feel the energy, you experience the shift, and then gradually you return to baseline. Your vibration settles back into its familiar range. The insights fade, the clarity dims, and you're left wondering if it was even real. But tonight's activation doesn't work that way. What happens tonight doesn't fade. It doesn't diminish. It doesn't require maintenance or effort to sustain. Because what's being activated tonight isn't a temporary state of consciousness. It's a permanent upgrade to your spiritual operating system. The Archangels have been watching you, not in a surveillance way, not in a judgmental way, but in the way a master teacher watches a student who's finally ready to graduate. They've witnessed every struggle you've survived, every disappointment you've endured, every moment you wanted to give up, but chose to keep going. Every night you cried yourself to sleep, wondering if any of this spiritual journey was real, or if you were just fooling yourself. They saw all of it. They recorded all of it. And they've determined that you've passed every test required to receive what's coming tonight. Here's what you need to understand about how the Archangelic realm operates. They don't give gifts randomly. They don't upgrade souls arbitrarily. There's a precise spiritual mathematics at play. You had to reach a certain vibrational frequency. You had to heal a certain percentage of your core wounds. You had to release a certain amount of karmic baggage. You had to demonstrate a certain level of commitment to your evolution. And you had to do all of this not for reward, not for recognition, but simply because your soul couldn't tolerate stagnation anymore. That's what qualified you. Not perfection, not enlightenment, but genuine, consistent, persistent growth. Tonight, the Archangels are going to do something they can only do when cosmic conditions align perfectly. They're going to reach through the dimensional barriers and touch your soul directly. Not through a dream, not through a meditation, not through a symbolic experience, but through a direct energetic transmission that bypasses your conscious mind entirely and speaks straight to the core of your being. This transmission carries codes, frequencies, information, upgrades, all designed to unlock capacities within you that have been dormant since birth, and in some cases since before birth. You might be wondering why tonight, why now, why this specific moment in time? The answer lies in something most people don't understand about how spiritual evolution works on a planetary scale. Earth is going through a massive consciousness shift. Humanity is evolving. Not everyone at the same pace, not everyone at the same time, but certain souls are being fast-tracked. They're being given access to higher levels of awareness, perception, and power, because they're needed. The planet needs awakened souls, healed souls, sovereign souls who can hold higher frequencies and help stabilize the collective consciousness during this turbulent transition period. You are one of those souls, and tonight is when you receive the tools you'll need to fulfill that role. The Archangels have specifically chosen tonight because of a rare alignment in the cosmic energy grid. Without getting too technical, think of the universe as a vast network of energy pathways, like a cosmic internet. Most of the time, these pathways operate normally, transmitting energy at standard frequencies. But occasionally, maybe once every several decades, these pathways align in such a way that they can transmit vastly more information, more power, more light than usual. Tonight is one of those occasions. The cosmic bandwidth has expanded. The spiritual download speeds have increased exponentially. And for a brief window of time, information that usually takes years to integrate can be transmitted and installed in hours. What this means for you practically is that tonight, while you sleep, while you rest, while you're simply existing in your physical body, the Archangels are going to be working on you in the higher dimensions. They're going to be rewiring your energy field, clearing blockages that you didn't even know existed, dissolving contracts and agreements that have been limiting you for lifetimes, activating gifts and abilities that have been coded into your soul since before you incarnated, aligning you with your highest timeline, connecting you with your soul family, opening doors that have been locked, removing obstacles that have been blocking your path. All of this tonight, while you're unconscious of it happening. But here's the crucial part. For this transmission to fully anchor into your being, you need to be in a receptive state, not a meditative state, not a ritualistic state, simply a state of openness and surrender. The Archangels can send the transmission regardless of what you're doing. But for it to integrate completely, for it to take root and become permanent, you need to consciously or unconsciously give permission. You need to be willing. You need to be ready. And if you're reading this message right now, that willingness and readiness are already present within you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Let me tell you what's going to happen in the hours leading up to tonight's activation. You might feel strange, tired, even if you slept well, emotional for no apparent reason, restless and unable to focus, hungry or not hungry at all, headaches or body aches without physical cause, a sense of time moving differently, either too fast or too slow. These aren't symptoms of something wrong. These are signs that your energy field is already beginning to shift in preparation for what's coming. Your body knows, your spirit knows, your soul knows. And even though your conscious mind might not fully understand what's happening, the deeper parts of you are already adjusting, already preparing. You might also notice unusual synchronicities today, seeing repeating numbers like a 1, 11, 222, 333, 4, 444, 555. Running into people unexpectedly who mention things that feel significant. hearing songs that feel personally meaningful, having conversations that seem to address exactly what you've been thinking about, experiencing technical glitches or delays that keep you from moving forward too quickly, electronics behaving strangely, plans falling through for no apparent reason. None of these are random. All of these are orchestrated. The universe is slowing you down, clearing your schedule, creating space in your life so that tonight when the transmission comes, you're not distracted. You're not scattered. You're not pulled in 17 different directions. You're available. You're present. You're ready. The Archangels want you to know something important. This event tonight is not something you need to earn. You've already earned it. Through every challenge you faced, through every heartbreak you've survived, through every moment you chose love over fear, faith over doubt, growth over comfort, through every time you got back up after being knocked down, through every moment you kept your heart open when it would have been easier to close it, through every time you chose forgiveness over bitterness, you've been earning this for years without knowing you were earning it. Tonight is your payoff. Tonight is your reward. Not in a transactional sense, but in the sense that you finally reached the level of spiritual maturity required to handle what's about to be given to you. What exactly is being given? The Archangels are activating what they call your divine blueprint. Every soul incarnates with a specific mission, a specific purpose, a specific set of gifts and abilities designed to help them fulfill that mission. But most people never access their full blueprint. They live their entire lives operating at maybe 20 or 30% of their spiritual capacity, not because they're lazy or unworthy, but because the conditions weren't right. The timing wasn't right. The consciousness of the planet wasn't evolved enough. The soul wasn't mature enough. But now, tonight, those conditions have aligned. The timing is perfect. The planetary consciousness has risen to the level where souls like yours can finally access the full scope of who you truly are. When your divine blueprint activates, things in your life are going to change rapidly. Oh, not necessarily in dramatic, visible ways, though that might happen too, but in subtle, profound ways that ripple out and transform everything. You're going to start making different choices. Choices that align with your true path, instead of the path you thought you were supposed to follow. You're going to start attracting different people. People who resonate with the real you, instead of the version you've been performing for others. You're going to start receiving different opportunities. Opportunities that actually fit your gifts and calling, instead of opportunities that just pay the bills or meet others' expectations. Your intuition is going to become so sharp, so clear, so undeniable, that you'll wonder how you ever made decisions without it. You'll know things without knowing how you know them. You'll sense truth and lies instantly. You'll feel energy shifts before they manifest physically. You'll understand people's motivations and intentions without them saying a word. You'll have insights that seem to come from nowhere. You'll make connections between things that seemed unrelated. This isn't because you're becoming psychic in some supernatural sense. This is because you're coming online. You're accessing the full range of perception that's always been available to you, but was turned down to a whisper, so you could survive in a world that wasn't ready for fully awakened souls. The Archangels are also removing fear programming tonight. This is huge. Most humans operate from a baseline of fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough, fear of being too much, fear of poverty, fear of loneliness, fear of death, fear of judgment, fear of visibility, fear of invisibility. This fear is like background noise that runs constantly, influencing every decision, every choice, every action. You've probably gotten so used to it that you don't even notice it anymore. It's just the normal state of being human. Or so you thought. But tonight, the Archangels are going into your subconscious mind, into your energy field, into your cellular memory, and they're deleting fear programs that have been running since childhood, since birth, since past lives. They're removing the code that keeps you small, that keeps you playing safe, that keeps you from claiming your full power. When this fear programming is removed, you're going to feel different immediately. Not fearless in a reckless way, but grounded in a way you've never experienced. Confident in a way that doesn't require external validation. Calm in situations that would normally trigger anxiety. Decisive when you used to second-guess everything. Bold where you used to hesitate. Clear where you used to doubt. Certain where you used to waver. This isn't arrogance. This isn't ego. This is your natural state. This is who you are when fear isn't distorting your perception of yourself and your capabilities. Another critical component of tonight's activation is the restoration of your energetic sovereignty. For most of your life, you've probably been giving your power away without realizing it. To people who don't deserve it, to systems that don't serve you, to beliefs that don't align with your truth, to expectations that were never yours to fulfill, to roles you never agreed to play, to responsibilities that weren't yours to carry. You've been leaking energy in 1,000 different directions, and it's been exhausting. It's been depleting. It's been keeping you from operating at full capacity. You've been running on 20% battery while giving the other 80% away to people and situations that drain you. But tonight, the Archangels are sealing those leaks. They're returning your energy to you. Every bit of power you gave away is being called back to you right now. Every piece of yourself you left in other people's hands is being reclaimed. Every drop of energy you poured into dead-end situations is being restored. The Archangels are teaching your system how to contain your power instead of spilling it everywhere. They're installing energetic boundaries that work automatically without you having to think about them or enforce them consciously. When your energetic sovereignty is restored, people are going to notice. They're going to sense that something has changed about you, even if they can't articulate what it is. People who used to drain you will suddenly lose access. Not because you're building walls or shutting people out, but because your energy field has reorganized itself in a way that doesn't allow unauthorized entry anymore. Your aura will have a new firmness to it, a new integrity, a new coherence. People who are aligned with your highest good will feel drawn to you. People who aren't will feel uncomfortable around you, or they'll simply fade from your life without drama or confrontation. You'll become selective about where you invest your time, your attention, your emotional bandwidth, your mental energy, and this selectivity won't feel harsh or cold. It will feel natural, necessary, right? You'll stop saying yes when you mean no. You'll stop explaining yourself to people who don't need explanations. You'll stop carrying other people's emotions. You'll stop fixing problems that aren't yours to fix. You'll stop making yourself smaller to make others comfortable. And all of this will happen organically without effort, because your energy field will simply be operating from a different set of parameters. The Archangels want you to understand that tonight's event is not the end of your spiritual journey. It's the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where you stop seeking and start embodying. Where you stop learning and start living. Where you stop preparing and start performing. You've been in training for years, maybe decades. You've been studying, practicing, developing, growing, healing, evolving. Tonight is your graduation. Tomorrow you wake up as a fully activated soul, ready to step into the role you came here to play. Now, you might be wondering what you're supposed to do to prepare for tonight. The answer is both simple and profound. Nothing. You don't need to meditate for hours. You don't need to set elaborate intentions. You don't need to perform rituals or light candles or say specific prayers. You don't need to clear your chakras or balance your energy or do breath work. All you need to do is be willing, be open, be receptive. The Archangels will handle the rest. They know exactly what you need. They know exactly what to activate, what to clear, what to upgrade, what to remove, what to install, what to delete. Your job is simply to allow it to happen, to get out of the way, to surrender to the process. That said, there are a few things you can do to optimize your receptivity. First, try to get good sleep tonight. Go to bed at a reasonable hour. Create a peaceful environment in your bedroom. Turn off screens at least an hour before bed. Quiet your mind as much as possible. Don't watch disturbing content. Don't engage in stressful conversations. Don't fill your mind with problems or worries. The activation will happen whether you're asleep or awake, but sleep allows your conscious mind to step aside, so the deeper work can occur uninterrupted. Sleep is when your soul has the most access to higher dimensions, when your guards are down, when your defenses are relaxed, when the archangels can work on you without your ego interfering. Second, avoid alcohol, drugs, or anything that alters your consciousness artificially. Tonight, you want to be as clear and clean as possible. Your system needs to be in its natural state for the transmission to anchor properly. Substances create static in your energy field, and tonight you want your channel to be crystal clear. Third, set a simple intention before you sleep. You don't need a long elaborate statement. Something like, I am open and willing to receive whatever the archangels have for me tonight. I trust this process completely. I surrender to the highest good. That's it. Simple, clear, powerful. Speak it out loud or silently in your mind. Either way works. The archangels will hear you. Fourth, if you can spend some time in nature today, even just 15 minutes. Touch the earth with your bare feet if possible. Sit under a tree, look at the sky, breathe fresh air. Nature has a way of grounding your energy and preparing your system for spiritual upgrades. It recalibrates you to the natural frequencies of the planet, which makes it easier for cosmic frequencies to integrate. Fifth, drink plenty of water today and tonight. Water is a conductor of energy. It helps flush out old frequencies and makes room for new ones. Staying hydrated supports the physical body during energetic shifts. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you might not feel dramatically different immediately. The activation works on levels so deep that it takes time for the effects to filter up into your conscious awareness. Some people wake up with a clear knowing that something profound has happened. Others wake up feeling completely normal and don't notice the changes until days or weeks later. Both experiences are valid. Both are normal. The activation doesn't depend on your conscious awareness of it. It's happening in the background, in the subconscious, in the soul level, whether you feel it or not. But over the next few days and weeks, you're going to notice changes. Subtle at first, then more obvious. Pay attention to your dreams tonight, and in the coming nights. The archangels often communicate through the dream state, because that's when your logical mind isn't filtering everything. You might have dreams of flying, of being in temples or sacred spaces, of meeting beings of light, of receiving information or downloads, of being shown your future, of understanding your purpose with sudden clarity. Write these dreams down if you remember them. They contain messages and information that will be important later. Pay attention to synchronicities. Things lining up too perfectly to be coincidence. People reaching out at exactly the right time. Opportunities appearing out of nowhere. Information coming to you right when you need it. Delays that turn out to be blessings. Doors closing that lead to better doors opening. The universe rearranging circumstances in your favor. These are all signs that the activation has taken hold and is beginning to reorganize your reality from the inside out. Pay attention to who contacts you in the coming days. Who suddenly reaches out after months or years of silence. Who appears in your life as if on cue. Who offers help, information, opportunities, connections. The archangels work through people. They use human channels to deliver messages, resources, and support. So, when someone shows up unexpectedly in your life after tonight, pay attention. There's likely a divine reason for the timing. Pay attention to what ideas pop into your head. What sudden inspirations hit you. What creative impulses arise. What solutions to old problems suddenly become obvious. What decisions that used to confuse you now feel crystal clear. This is the activation working through your mental body, clearing fog, removing blocks, opening pathways for divine intelligence to flow through you more freely. Some of you will experience the activation consciously. You might wake up in the middle of the night feeling energy moving through your body, tingling sensations, waves of heat or cold. pressure in your head or chest, vibrations running through your spine. You might have vivid dreams of beings of light working on you, adjusting your energy field, installing codes, removing blockages. You might hear sounds that have no physical source, high-pitched tones or humming or music. You might see colors or geometric patterns behind your closed eyelids, purples and golds, and electric blues, sacred geometry unfolding in your inner vision. If this happens, don't be afraid. This is the Archangels making their presence known, so you can consciously participate in what's happening. If you do wake up during the activation, simply stay relaxed, stay open, and allow whatever is happening to happen. Don't try to control it. Don't try to understand it with your logical mind. Just breathe. Just be present. Just receive. Trust that you're safe. Trust that you're being cared for by beings who love you beyond measure. Trust that what's happening is for your highest good, even if it feels strange or unfamiliar. Others of you will experience nothing consciously. You'll sleep normally, you'll wake up normally, and you'll go about your day thinking nothing unusual happened. But that doesn't mean the activation didn't occur. It just means it happened entirely in the background. In the subconscious levels, in the energetic dimensions, you can't perceive directly with your physical senses. The proof will come not in dramatic, spiritual experiences during the night, but in the way your life begins to shift over the coming weeks. In the choices you make, in the people you attract, in the opportunities that arise, in the problems that resolve themselves, in the way you feel about yourself and your path, in the quiet confidence that settles into your being, in the clarity that replaces confusion, in the peace that replaces anxiety. The Archangels want you to know that you're not going through this alone. Thousands of souls across the planet are receiving this same activation tonight. You're part of a spiritual collective, a soul family, that's being upgraded simultaneously, so that together you can hold more light, more love, more consciousness for the planet. You might not know who these other souls are. You might never meet them in person, but energetically you're connected. You're part of the same mission. You're working toward the same goal. You're serving the same divine plan. And tonight, you're all being given the tools you need to fulfill your part of that plan. This collective activation is significant because it creates a grid, an energetic network of awakened souls whose combined light is exponentially more powerful than the sum of its parts. When one of you raises your frequency, it makes it easier for the others to raise theirs. When one of you breaks through a limitation, it weakens that same limitation for everyone else. When one of you steps into your power, it gives permission for others to do the same. You're not just transforming yourself tonight. You're contributing to the transformation of the entire human collective. There's something else the Archangels want you to understand. This activation is not just about you. Yes, it will transform your life. Yes, it will unlock your gifts. Yes, it will align you with your purpose. Yes, it will heal your wounds and clear your blocks and expand your consciousness. But it will also turn you into a beacon, a lighthouse, a frequency holder for others who are still struggling in the dark. When you activate, you don't just change yourself, you change everyone around you. Your family feels it even if they don't understand it. Your friends feel it even if they can't articulate it. Your co-workers notice something different about you. Strangers you pass on the street are affected by your energy field. You become a walking transmission of higher consciousness. And without saying a word, without doing anything specific, without trying to teach or preach or convince, you begin to wake other people up simply by being in their presence. This is the true purpose of tonight's activation. The Archangels aren't just upgrading individual souls for personal benefit. They're creating a network of activated beings who will collectively raise the vibration of the entire planet. You're being enlisted into spiritual service, not in a burdensome way, not in a way that requires you to sacrifice your own well-being or happiness, not in a way that demands you give everything away and live like a monk, but in a way that allows your very existence to be a blessing to the world, just by being yourself, by living your truth, by embodying your highest frequency, by doing what brings you joy, by following your passion, by expressing your gifts. You serve. That's the gift and the responsibility that comes with tonight's activation. As you move through the rest of today, you might feel emotional. You might feel waves of gratitude washing over you. You might feel overwhelmed by the magnitude of what's about to happen. You might feel scared because change is scary even when it's positive. You might feel excited. You might feel peaceful. You might feel nothing at all and wonder if you're doing something wrong. All of these reactions are valid. All of these emotions are part of the process. Let them move through you. Don't suppress them. Don't judge them. Don't try to make sense of them. Just feel them and let them pass. Because what's on the other side of these emotions is a version of you that's more powerful, more aligned, more authentic, more free, more joyful, more peaceful, more confident, and more connected than you've ever been. The archangels are standing by right now. They're ready. They're waiting. They're watching you with more love than you can comprehend. And tonight, when you close your eyes and surrender into sleep, when you let go of control and trust the process, they're going to do what they've been waiting to do for years, maybe lifetimes. They're going to unlock you. They're going to activate you. They're going to set you free from limitations you didn't even know you were carrying. They're going to restore you to your original divine design. They're going to give you back to yourself. This is your once, inner, lifetime moment. This is your cosmic appointment that was scheduled before you were born. This is your divine initiation into the next level of your soul's evolution. This is the moment everything changes. Not gradually, not eventually. Tonight, right now, as you prepare for sleep, as you surrender to the unknown, as you trust in forces greater than yourself, the archangels are preparing to deliver something so profound, so powerful, so life-altering that you'll look back on this night as the moment your real life began. Trust it, believe it, receive it. The archangels have announced it. And what they announce, they deliver. What they promise, they fulfill. What they initiate, they complete. Tonight changes everything. Tonight you are reborn. Tonight you become who you've always been meant to be. Welcome to your activation. Welcome to your power. Welcome to your new life. Chosen one. The archangels are ready. Are you?